Yeah, it's the Archivest, y'all, interviewing DJ Skratch Bastid. So, who is DJ Skratch Bastid?
I'm Paul Murphy. I'm 27 now, in 2010. And grew up in Nova Scotia, was a kid just obsessed with rap music in general, and made that my full-time, my life, and then that became my job. So.
And tell us about your two-time victory on taking first place in Scribble Jam.
Well, it was actually 3 times.
Oh, 3 times.
Yeah, well, I guess there's a little bit of background. We can fill those 2 gaps. So I grew up in Nova Scotia, and one of my mentors was a guy named Buck 65. And Buck had a radio show that I used to listen to all the time. And he was really, back before the internet, he brought like music that I couldn't get locally to the city by traveling to New York and Toronto and just bringing back 12 inches and all kinds of tapes and just playing on the radio. So giving me music that I couldn't find anywhere else. So he became like a musical mentor for me, and I followed him. And when kind of like the super underground like anti-con stuff, when that just before the anti-con stuff like happened, Scribble Jam had started popping off, and through like trading tapes and records and stuff, Buck 65 met Mr. Dibbs, who was one of the creators of Scribble Jam, and Dibbs said, "Hey, why don't you and 62, the 7 tones at the time, come down and play a show at Scribble Jam?" So, I followed their every move, and I was like, "Oh, that's really cool. You guys are going down to the States," and like they said it was an amazing experience, and everyone like was really into what they were doing. And I was like, "That's cool." And coming up under them, I thought, "Hey, maybe I'll take my sound to Scribble Jam and see how it works there." So I was young. I went down. Rec, were you down at Scribble? You came down to Scribble that first year we went down, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went down with Rec, who owns this store, Sharks and Hammers, that we're in now.
Well.
And we went down to Scribble, and we 7 of us slept in a 1-bedroom hotel.
Yeah.
Josh Martinez,
Slept in the closet.
Cougar 219, Todd Chichi, Caleb Simmons at the time, future Canadian Idol nominee contestant. Anyway, we went there and slept in a small room, and just like it was like a road trip, and I got in the battle, and that year I came second. And I got some props. I met a bunch of people like ADM, who at the time I think was the champ, and he was killing people. And I met Dibbs, and Dibbs inducted me into the 1200 Hobos, and I was like, this is like a great experience for me. So I was really pumped to go back next year. So that was about when my battling kind of started. I started taking it real serious, and then next year I went back and I won. So and then the following year I won, and then the following year after that I actually got eliminated in the semifinals, and then the following year after that I couldn't go, and then the following year after that, which was 2007 I believe, but I think I'm missing a year in there, I won, and then that was the last time
I'm one of the biggest fans of Scribble Jam, even though I haven't attended. Tell us about the trophy.
Too late now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Scribble was really cool because of how grassroots it was. It was just a bunch of dudes, mostly from the Midwest, that didn't really have anywhere else to go, and that was where they kind of, if you were from Minneapolis like the Rhymesters, or if you were from Detroit like Eminem, or if you were from Kansas City like Mac Lethal, or if you were from wherever, you kind of unite. I guess they united in their kind of, I'm not East or West, I'm just a hip hop dude from the Midwest. We kind of related to that in the sense that we're from the North, and like we're kind of not on the map the same way that they're kind of not on the map, So yeah. So going there was, an identifying process for all of us, I think, and that was it was an amazing festival. I had a great attendance for sure.
We'd like to hear your experience above the DMCs and the ITF. Tell us about that.
Sure. I mean, like with all battles, I mean, there was kind of like a heyday for battles, and that's kind of when I got into it around 97, 98, 99. If you look at when DJ Craze was the DMC World Champion, that's kind of the time where like, in my opinion, like that's like the pinnacle of like battle DJing, and he was the best battle DJ pound for pound in my opinion. Anyway, that was what I did as a DJ. That's what I aspired to be, was like a world champion or a champion of some sort. So with DMC and ITF, it was a little bit more structured to be like the reason I like Scribble Jam was because it was a little more like hip hop, and I was just a hip hop dude. And some of the DMC stuff ended up being really technical, and ITF and really technical, really like. I wasn't into that. I was more into like the rap music being incorporated into routines. But DMC and ITF, man, like that definitely gave me a lot of my, made me sit in a room for 8 hours a day and try to work on routines. So definitely gave me a goal to practice my skills and also a showcase to show people how I compare to other people, I guess.
And what is one of the biggest crowds that you've rocked as DJ Skratch Bastid?
I played at the Air Canada Centre with Buck 65 when we opened for the Tragically Hip. So that was, that's not exactly the crowd that you might think, but that's a crowd of, 15,000 people. That's pretty good. Scribble Jam always had a good crowd of like 2,000 or 3,000 people. I played open for Ludacris, open for Nas. My main thing usually is I opened with Russell Peters. That was probably like 5,000 people. But for me, like I like the smaller, more intimate clubs, and to me that's where like good dope hip hop shows are made, is in those kind of like sweat boxes and in those like where you feel that energy. And sometimes it's hard to feel that energy when you have moms and kids in the place,
And how does it feel to be nominated for a Juno for Buck 65 Situation album?
I was surprised. My man Cass woke me up via text message saying, "Yo, you got nominated for Juno." I was like, "No way," He was that's my boy. But anyway,
who were you up against though?
I was up against Bob Rock, Joni Mitchell, and a guy that produced Ozzy Osbourne, and the guy that produced Selena Ryder. So it's like it was pretty good names to be mentioned with. So that was, to me, I don't look for that kind of validation, but it gave me a leg to stand on that platform. So that was a nice little tip of the hat, I guess.
And how was it being interviewed by the National Post, Nah Right, and blogged by Kevin Nottingham, and placed on Kanye West's blog for the song Workout Plan?
Well, I just do what I do, I guess, and however it trickles down, wherever it gets to, I take it and go. I mean, I think that the harder you try to get on blogs, the faker it looks. I'm gonna make a Nah Right mixtape with Nah Right. It's like, no shit. Okay, you're gonna get on Nah Right. I like just being me, and then I think that people, my fans and music fans, will see there's authenticity in just me doing me and not trying to buy my way into it or anything like that. Or there's not that there's anything wrong with like collaborating with people, but it's nice to know that like when I in the way of doing myself and promoting myself, along the way people pick up on it and want to like ask me questions or like show people my stuff. Common put up one of my routines on his website too, which was pretty cool. Whether or not it's him actually doing it, it's going to reach a good bunch of people, and it's always I'm always thankful for people wanting to spread my music.
And what is one of your best memories in hip-hop in the competition against DJ Skratch Bastid?
Well, some of my favorite battles. My first major battle in Montreal when I was 17. That was DJ A-Track won it, and DJ Pump was there. Rep was there. DJ Pump, DJ Dopey, who was a future DMC World Champion, DJ Wax, who was in Vancouver doing club stuff, trying to sell me his computer on Facebook all the time and stuff like that. Sorry, shouts out to Wax. Who else? There was a few other guys, Crispy, and my best friend, Cut and Cracker. And that was just a thrill. And I was being judged by the Bulletproof Scratch Hamsters, who one of my favorite scratch DJs of all time, DJ Quest from California, was crazy. He was a judge, and to get them to kind of be like, "Yo, you guys are doing really good," that was like, wow, we're like these guys that we listened to all their tapes are really into it. So that was thrilling. One of my favorite, most intense battles was when me and Brace went back and forth. Brace from Winnipeg, who won the Canadian DMC finals in Winnipeg, and then he came down to Scribble Jam that year, and then I had a chance to go head to head with him, and I took one. He did this routine with Usher, yeah, and I had this taking Kanye going, we don't want to hear that weak shit no more, and I like do 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 do, and then we don't want to hear that weak shit no more, and I smashed the record and Scribble where no one likes that song. It really fit good, and it was a nice little touch to kind of get back at him for winning the Canadian final. So shouts out to Brace, a great DJ, but it was a really good, that was a rush to kind of feel that seesaw